I would like to do the same thing, but at the risk again of getting in trouble, I'd like to hear what maybe they are also feeling towards those that they think are taking advantage of the system. Because that's a legitimate concern. It's a legitimate concern.
Right, but
it's not something that should be waving Confederate flags with, but it's a legitimate concern. And then I'd like to hear somebody respond and say, well, let's talk about the welfare of corporations and what they're getting off the government. And let's talk about maybe what we're getting from these trade deals that we're hearing are so horrible. See, we're just not dialoguing.
Right.
We're not talking.
And then the links might be that there are more African Americans, let's say, on the social services dole of our government. But if you look at the numbers, no, there are more whites who are actually on it than blacks. And so there's a perception sometimes of that's not even real that people get in their heads. And I guess I'm surprised that here we are, 2017, and those kind of thoughts still exist.
I think that if I were going to say what shocks me is that I thought we had made more progress.
Me too.
It just seems like
I feel like we're going backwards someday.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like I have to be careful, because again, I'm coming at this, or at least I'm trying to come at this from a therapeutic point of view, which is to trust the process. Because in a process of getting better, becoming perhaps a more perfect union, we may have that move towards and then move back, and move towards and move back. I just believe, listen, Whitney, I come from Mississippi. I have Mississippi Delta, and then my mother's from the hills.
You saw it.
I understand. I grew up in that culture of white, kind of simple folk, simple folk. But there was but there was segregation, and what concerns me now again with the fact that we're not talking, it's like we're going into our own little ghettos. Oh. We're finding people that we know are going to be with us, and we go into our comfort zones, and so we're almost becoming more and more segregated when we need to be mixing and talking, as hard as it is.
Right.
We need to be breaking out of the you know, you and I have said it. I'll often say, you know, I just want my little circle where I'm comfortable.
But you don't know why you said that, right?
But then I become in that vacuum of just thank you.
Right,
I mean, you know, it's a tendency.
We've all
in
had
every
since the election difficulty talking about those type of things. It just
and families, brothers and sisters. I mean, I don't want to say we're on the verge of a civil war, but you know, you have to start wondering what we can't even talk to family members as much as we could, or have again a difference of opinion, and maintain. And this is where I think perhaps what we ought to all start doing is having huge civic lessons. We need the rule of law. We need the balance of power.
Right.
We need, you know, congressional oversight and people making laws that are just and changing situations that aren't and helping the economy. And
let me say something, because you were talking about being in the Delta, and I'm telling you that I had an Uncle Carl, and my Uncle Carl has been dead 20 years, and he was older. So my Uncle Carl, his ideas and his views on people who didn't look just like him were as rooted, cultivated, and narrow as the beautiful vegetable garden that he grew. If there was a Jew or a black person who came on television, he would turn it off. I never understood that. I mean, I loved him for the good things that we had, but those views, I never even understood. I thought that generation had died.
And it hasn't. And it hasn't.
And
yeah.
I'm troubled.
Yeah. And part of what I can only say to you is that it's all right to be troubled, not all right to give up hope. We are in a tough place. We're in a tough place. And you know, sometimes, Whitney, I just don't have any answer other than I just fall to my knees. I listened to the Adagio for Strings last night by Samuel Barber, which is a real dirge. Yeah. And I had it on in the background as I was watching Charlottesville. And I just was grieving and thinking, what is the matter with us? You know, what is the matter with us? But the one thing I want to make sure I'm clear about, it doesn't have to change you and I. I can still respect people who I see. Right. I can still respect every color, every race, every creed, every religion, and even bring out, tell me about what it's like to be Jewish. Tell me about what it's like to not have a job. And 60-year-old white man who's got a 5th grade education.
Certainly.
Talk to me. Tell me what that feels like instead of blaming and scapegoating. Talk to me. Let's respect each other in the dialogue and get off of get out from behind the rock.
Yeah. Well,
Fair enough?
Fair enough. I hope it will lead to some better conversations, which will lead to hopefully people understanding, as you said, where that's rooted, where that grew, why that anger is there so much, and surely a solution is a better solution out there is not just that we have separate societies.
Right.
The black people live here and the
Right.
Jewish people live here and the white people live here. I mean, that's not what we were founded on.
Well said.
All right.
Well said.
Well, thanks for
The struggle.
helping us, the struggle, and understand a little better about what's been a very difficult week.
And if this emotes anger, experience the anger and then try to figure out where it's coming from. Because you and I are not trying to intend anyone to be angry. I'm not trying to cause problems. Are you?
No.
We're trying to find out how can we resolve this to where we can live a better, more perfect union.
Yeah. We are a work in progress as a country, for sure. As maybe we are as individuals. But
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, Dr. Nick, for your insight today. More Weekends with Whitney after this.